Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy July. I don't know. Oh gosh. I have so many things to say and I have so many things to share. And I have to say that the first thing I want to share is that I feel like July is going to be a really good month for a lot of people. In the Feng Shui, if you follow Feng Shui at all, it is a very auspicious month. Basically, like out of the 9 squares, 8 of the 9 squares are auspicious, meaning like there's good energy flowing through 8 of the 9 sectors. And so if you're just putting up your little like things to kind of like amplify the energy, like July is giving. Now, July is also giving a lot of chaos. July is also giving a lot of like twists and turns. And I do feel like if you are a Gemini, or if you are a Gemini sun, or if you have your Venus in Gemini and your Mars in Virgo, or if you have a lot of strong Gemini placements, this month could be like, you just might pop off, all right? Because Venus is entering Gemini, so this is going to be like really getting into the nitty gritty with, okay, how are you, like, this is like communicating. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. If you don't want to do that, like, that's totally fine. But here's where I'm going. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm attracting. Like, it's going to be so much about communication, right? And speaking about what you want in your relationships, right? And then on top of that, like, oh my God, it's so crazy because like Uranus is entering Gemini. Like, okay, so I personally, even though I'm not really like a professional astrologist by any stretch of the imagination, I'm just like super fucking obsessed about it. But I'm personally like really excited for this Uranus in Gemini, just because of the fact that Uranus is basically the primordial planet. And so when you think primordial, you think, okay, the entities that actually created all the things. And so they're coming in finally, and they're going to be like, okay, you thought that you were doing that? No, I don't think so. And they're going to kind of like shove to the surface, basically telling you what you need to adjust, right? Now, some people can feel like that's like a bad thing because it can smack you in the face. Uranus is chaos embodied, right? So when you're thinking about chaos, like things are chaotic, things are unexpected, things may come out of the blue. You might get a big smack in the face. You might get something that's unpredictable, right? So for some people, it might be like negative depending on where you are in your journey. But I think that like for the most part, there's a lot of, I personally think it's a really good thing because like change needs to happen. Like, look at what's happening, right? Like, you know, let's put this up front and center, which this is just a personal opinion, but it's like Diddy got off on a lot of charges and then like was guilty for only like some lower ones. And I'm just kind of like, okay, and what is that teaching us? Like, we need radical change. We need things to radically change. We need a new movement. And the coolest part about this, I think if you wanted to flip your perspective, is kind of like, you are the one that's making the change. And I think that's kind of a really powerful place to be when you're the one that's making the change. You're the one that gets the unfolding. You're the one that's like, we're not doing this anymore. It's almost like you get to, I feel like this generation really lucked out in a way. Okay. I think that, I honestly think that millennials definitely got the short end of the stick, and I could talk about that in a second. However, I think that being alive in this current point in time as an adult, like, I guess I'm an adult anyway, but I think it's beautiful because you are actually getting a chance in a way to truly play God, like for the collective. Like when we're having global change, societal change, cultural change, right? This reassessment of the hierarchy and everything like that. your voice is crazy important. Talk about Gemini, chatty, air sign. Oh, you know what I mean? I think for people who are earth signs, it's going to be a little bit like, oh my God, like what the hell? And like you may or you may not get annoyed with me. We'll see, right? Because I think the Geminis are going to really come out and be like, I mean, it's going to be their time in the spotlight. I actually saw another creator being like, if you have a Gemini sun friend, like, so help you God, like, you know, because they're going to be on some unhinged shit, right? And I've been feeling it. Like, I've been feeling it. I've just been kind of like, oh my God, yesterday was definitely on like angry energy because I just had just about had it with kind of some things that had been going on. But it was funny because the fire within me, it just was kind of like, oh, that's right. I don't need fear anymore because I don't have any more fucks left to give. Like, that's kind of it. So it's kind of like, okay, great. Well, whatever. This is who I am. This is how I'm showing up. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I'm inspired by. This is what pisses me off. This is what I want to share with the world. This is what I want to help the world. This is what I want to do in order to like make everybody feel better and kind of make this world a little bit of a better place. This is how I want to sprinkle kindness. This is how I want to beautify myself and beautify, you know, my surroundings wherever I go. Like, it's like giving all of that, but like in a very manifesting generator way. Because again, air sign, mercurial, it's going to be like da-da-da-da-da-da. So on a positive note though, and again, Jupiter going into Cancer, it's kind of like I feel like the general message with the planets, if the planets were, if I wasn't a professional astrologer, but like, I feel like the planets are basically trying to say, listen, this is a month where you could truly get a massive blessing that was very unexpected. Unexpected. Surprises. I personally love good surprises, but I love surprises. Oh my God, you still got me a birthday present? Thank you. Oh my God, I haven't talked to you in forever. You still have my phone number? Thank you. Like, oh my God, you want to treat me like out for my coffee? Oh my God, thank you. Like, but it could be like even bigger, like a bigger opportunity, a bigger, oh my God, promotion at your job. Sorry, I was like brain farting for like, I just like, I haven't worked for corporate in like forever. So I'm like, what is that word called? Oh yeah, promotion, right? Maybe you get promoted. Maybe you get an even better job. Maybe you even, get an unexpected windfall. Maybe you even like, I don't know, for shits and giggles, play the lottery and get a big sum of money. Like, expect the unexpected. That's what July is all about. And it really is like, I mean, a lot of people are talking about the July 4th energy because it's a lot. But I feel like amidst the chaos, your energy is pristine. Oh, thank you, Brittany. Yes, ma'am. And hi, Leslie. How are you? Yay. Hi, Andrew. I'm so glad that you agree and that you're feeling the same, right? Like, it's kind of like, this is your chance. I would say this would be, I probably should have made this just a regular TikTok video, but I just didn't have the words or the thing. If I had to say what is one general like suggestion that I would do in July, okay, it would be to declare with uttermost certainty, like nobody's going to talk you out of this shit. Okay, there's no fucking doubt in this shit, okay? You're gonna be like, no, I have decided, okay? By the end of the month or from here on out, especially for the rest of 2025, This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. Period. End of story. Don't fucking talk back to me. Don't fucking say what if. Don't fucking poo-poo on my parade. Like, you're bringing it to me. I don't care how. That's your fucking job. Your fucking job is to decide the how. My fucking job is to be super clear on what the fuck I want. And I have decided that I am getting this because I'm done fucking waiting. I'm done fucking suffering. I'm done fucking like sabotaging. I'm done fucking doing all of this garbage shit and sacrificing. I'm getting it now. Period. And then, toss. You then prepare for that shit to come. So I need you in my life full time. Yeah, because I really wanted to play every single blonde on Broadway. So it was just kind of like Glinda from Wicked, and it's like, toss. But I feel like that's the energy. Now, that's not to say that you're not supposed to make moves, okay? Like, yes, you're supposed to attract, but like, you're also supposed to like, you know, lay the foundation. And so it's a little bit of a catch-20. I don't want to say a catch-22, but sometimes it feels a little bit confusing, right? So I'll give you an example. So one of the things that I had written back when I did my 13 wishes in December, let's go back to December 2024. I wrote that one of the things that I really wanted to have happen this year was I wanted to be like a New York Times #1 best-selling author, right? And I had been getting all of these downloads for like my fantasy. Oh my God, 333 hearts. Yeah, double tap the screen. Let's get to like 3,000 likes, okay? And like share this with whoever, share this with your friends. All right, So I had all these downloads and I had been already writing a fantasy book, right? Because we love fantasy. I personally think that fantasy is the language of the soul because it allows your mind to entertain like larger than life or earthly possibilities, right? And especially if you're like here and you love me, like if you know, you know, right? Okay. So I've been writing this book in Notion, and I like whenever I get a download, whenever I get a dream sequence, whenever I get a thing, I just write it in as a scene. And I'm not really sure how this whole thing is going to go, but like I know it's going to go, okay? But then it was starting to get really confusing. I couldn't find what I was looking for. I started to lose like count of like, okay, wait, I'm sorry, like what's the outline again? Where's this chapter gonna go? Well, what about this scene? Well, do I start like when she's a muggle, or do I start like when she's already on the thing because we just want to get into the action and like feel like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Because, and I can tell you about my story if you want. I like the show. Oh, I'm so excited. So, but let me break it down. So my point is this, all right? So that was what I wished for in 2024 to happen in 2025, and the universe said it was going to take care of it. However, if I want to be a New York Times #1 best-selling author, I'm going to need to fucking write the fucking book. Okay? Like, if you want to be like an ascended pop star or superstar, probably going to need to be writing and recording your music and putting it out there, right? If you're wanting to become like a TikTok shop creator and being one of those girlies who's making $100,000 a month off of TikTok shop affiliate commissions, you're probably going to be needing to post like, 10 to 20 TikTok shop videos a day with like, products and just sell. That's just the mechanics, right? So what I did yesterday to tell the universe to basically be like, bitches, I'm motherfucking serious. Like, I'm serious about this shit. Okay. I went and bought I started this 30-day trial period, but still, I went and got this professional novel writing program, and I used ChatGPT in order to like set the whole thing up yesterday. So last night after I ate dinner, I just sat there all night long, like building out the folders, making it work for me, starting to transfer over some of the scenes and chapters that I had already written, like being able to like color code it, label it, tag it. And so I have everything now set up. And now as I'm putting things in, now I know, oh, that needs to be edited. That needs to be transferred to like, you know, the FMC's POV instead of third person POV. Okay, that's like for the outline. Oh my God, I was wondering where the fuck that was. So now I got my outline back. So now I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So now I can start sharing little scenes, little snippets, little paragraphs, little, you know, do you see what I'm saying? And like build up the hype for my book. And then as I am finishing writing it, then y'all can come on the journey with me and like get excited for it so that when it finally launches or like gets released, you'll dive right in, right? But none of that can happen if it's still saying in a fucking draft in like my Notion documents. Like you need to get the story out. Does that make any sense? So that's kind of like what this July is about. I was making it very specific, but you get my point, right? Questions, comments, concerns. I will pull cards and I'm going to do a collective reading. If you would like a reading while I'm live, of course, go, it's in the link in my bio, at the top of my page. And then you can, once you pay for one, come back, let me know, and then I'll do yours. All right. But the energy is very benefic. I feel like there's a lot of beneficial energy coming in, and I'm excited. I also just got crazy hungry. Fuck. Oh, okay, I'll eat later in a second. Okay, so let's just do a collective. Now this is collective tarot reading for July. What's in store for you for July? Please take what resonates and leave the rest. This is not personal. This is a collective. And we'll see what's going on. I told you, I just cut the deck and got the Ace of Wands. Oh, brand new way of doing something. Oh, brand new way of operating. Oh, brand new way of doing things, manifesting things, getting the things that I want with more ease and effortlessness and flow. Like, are you kidding me? Right? Christina! Perfect. I just started the collective reading, okay? Oh my God. But see, warning. You do have to make sure that you're pointed in the right direction. You have to make sure that you're pointed in the right direction. And I want to make that crazy clear and in a softer tone, so that your inner child and your wounded ego and like the traumatized parts of you understand that like you cannot expect to, for example, let's just use my example. You cannot expect to become a New York Times #1 best-selling author if you are dead set on staying in your comfort zone. You cannot get to where you want to go if you do not start acting like the version of you who does have it all.
Alert from upgrade to Mac OS Sequoia.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Why that happened. Bless this mess. Okay. Does that make sense? So, yes, we're dropping the truth bombs. Okay. So yeah, share the live, double tap the screen. Let's get to, if we get to 5,000, I'll pull, I'll maybe do like 1 card pulls or something. I don't know. We'll see. You have to face yourself in the direction of where you want to go. If you are wanting to stay in the shadows, if you are wanting to stay comfortable, if you are wanting to stay safe, and it is important to feel safe, right? But you can feel safe outside of your comfort zone, right? Your dream life, the identity, the version of you who has it all, that bitch feels safer than the version of you who is brainwashing them to feel safe because you are so used of being suppressed. Okay, so that's going to be some of the shadow work for some of you, all right? Now, ha! I actually need to shuffle, but let me tell you, with the Justice card coming up right after I said that, this is confirmation that people are going to get what you're going to get what you are owed. So, if you are doing the shadow work, if you are acting like the version of you, embodying the version of you who has it all, if you are doing that inner work and outer work, you're going to get served. Like you're going to win your case, right? Like justice will be served on your side. The people who have been poo-pooing you, they'll get, a serving of humble pie. You will get the grand prize. You will get blessings. You will get miracles. You'll get above and beyond. But if you say that you're doing the work and then you're not wanting to invest in yourself and you're not wanting to do something for yourself and you're not wanting to improve yourself, even though you say you are, because there's like a group of people, I don't know who this is. So I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a tough love situation. So if this doesn't resonate, like please disregard what I'm about to say, because this is very specific. But I just am seeing that there is a person who's going to be watching this, who is, whether it's live or on the replay, where it's like, I would consider you a pretty intermediate, like a solid, like not beginner intermediate, but like intermediate, level of spiritualness, okay? Like, you know what's up. You're not dumb. You've been around the block. You've been doing your shadow work. You have been doing the healings. You have been cleansing and crystals and tarot, like all the things, right? And then you're like, yeah, so I already manifested all of this really great stuff into my life. Like, I already have all the material things, but like, why am I not like, happy? And why am I not where I want to be? And why is my life still like a shit show? That's justice. Because spiritual bypassing and spiritual gaslighting yourself does not equal true healing. It's just masking the fact that you're still operating in the old patriarchal ways, thinking that that is going to fulfill you when your soul has already been trying to scream at you that that is not ultimately what you want. Justice. So you will keep getting into these huge dramatic issues and like relationship issues and like maybe random financial issues, and you'll be like emotionally like roller coastering. It's because you think that you are better. Sorry, there's like you think that you are, it's almost like ego. It's ego. There it is. Okay, thank you. Sorry. It's ego-based, okay? Your ego is like, yeah, I've done all the work. You're wrong. You're wrong. That's not me. You're wrong. I can hear it. Like, I can literally hear your ego in my head. And I'm like, okay, don't believe me. But also, look at your life. You literally just said that you're a hot motherfucking mess and you don't know what's going on. But if you're so spiritually aware, then you know exactly what's going on. So just fix it. Okay, so that, I don't know who that is for. I'm trying to say it in the nicest way. If you want to unfollow me after that, that's fine. And you'll meet your judgment day. That's just how that works. I mean, and then for the others of you who know someone like that, so maybe I'm saying this so that those of you who are doing the work can watch out for people like that in the spiritual community, or maybe it's one of your friends. And then that way you don't have, then if you see someone like that, and then they're like, yeah, blah, 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 and blah, 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 you can go, oh, okay. Just smile and nod and let them have their own reality, because they are unwilling to change. They are unwilling to wrap up, their lessons, and they will learn it the harder way. And that's fine. It's not your problem. It's not your life. Put on the horse blinders and just focus on your life. Okay? Mara, hi. We need a friend like you. Oh, Christina. All right. What else? Okay, so what is forecasted for July? Come on. What's forecasted for July? So much fun, I heard. So much fun. Why do you always fall on the floor? Ooh, I like this card. I think I need some chips. Maybe I need some chips and guac or something like that. Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. So this is going to be a very, very intuitive month. This is going to be the month where you are going to be able to really discern what it's going to be, either the lesson or you're embodying this and you're like, bitch, yes, I'm the motherfucking Queen of Cups. I think that the Queen of Cups is a lot more intuitive than even the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. That's just my personal interpretation. But I feel like you are going to be in tune with your emotions. Again, we're in Cancer season. So, you know what I mean? And then turning into Leo season at the end. So it's kind of like, all right, what are your emotions trying to tell you? What is your heart trying to tell you? Like, if you actually took the motherfucking time to listen to your body, it will tell you what to do. It will tell you where to go. It will tell you what to drop. But if you're always in your head and you're always like analyzing and rationalizing things, you're going to override. Like your heart's like, ooh, I really want this. Like, I want to use the pink cup today. And you're like, no, I'm like, today's a blah day. I'm going to use black. It can be something as simple as that. But as you continue to not give your heart the love that it is asking for, how are you ever going to be able to receive the love that you have been wanting? Where the fuck is this shit coming from? I don't even know. Okay, so thanks for the truth bombs. All right. But there is something that's going to be amplified for you. Superpowers. Yeah. Some people's intuitions might get like an upgrade. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. Thank you for the follow, Peony. I don't know who, but your like psychic abilities, your intuition, for a few of you, is going to get a major upgrade. As in, you're going to probably be like, oh my God, now I can hear this. Now I can do this. Now I can do, oh my God. And then it's going to be about discernment. Because with the Queen of Cups, she knows how to empathize and like sympathize and understand other people, but she also has really strong boundaries. This bitch knows how to protect her fucking peace. Do you know how to protect your fucking peace? And not like a piece, but like, you know, peace. Oh my God, they're playing games today. They're playing games. It's not a piece, it is a piece. Okay. Anyway, that's exciting. What else? It's me, Elise. Yeah, hi, here I am. That's hilarious. Hi, Mel. How are you? Cosmic Carly. Yes, I'm glad you're all about it. Okay, let's see what else is in store for you in July. I told you. I fucking told you. Did I not fucking tell you? This is a month, and I'm sensing that there's going to be some celebrations because I'm pretty sure that's the Three of Cups. Fuck yeah. Okay. With victory on the top? Are you kidding me? Okay. All right. So there's two versions. There's this timeline, and then there's that timeline. Although that timeline, can bring that. So hold on. Let me do, there's two timelines that you can go down. So stay tuned. Okay. All right. So with this, wow. All right. Four of Wands was right there. Four of Wands was right there. Need confirmation? All right. So, yeah. All right. So, 10 of Pentacles. You're going to be able to build your legacy this month. Remember how it was like at earlier in this live, I was talking about like, okay, one of my 13 wishes was to become a New York Times #1 bestselling author, right? And I've been writing my fantasy book. This is the month to write that book. Whatever you want your legacy to be, okay? This is the month to put that shit in play, to create the foundation and anchor that shit in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the month where you're going to be making moves. And I do think once Leo season hits, although this full moon on the 10th is going to be wild, I think, okay? But there's going to be a surprise coming for someone. Someone's going to be getting, they're saying it like a huge bounty, but it's going to come in either like, it could be money, or it could be more so like whatever your legacy is, okay? With the 9 of Cups on the bottom right underneath it. Are you kidding me? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But then with the 8 of Pentacles and the High Priestess, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, yes, you can manifest this into existence. Your wishes are going to be fulfilled, but it is going to take some hard work, and you're going to have to trust your intuition because of the fact that some things are still going to be hidden from you, because there's still going to be shady people around you, because you're still going to have to work through the trauma and the old voices that you need to actually drop that say, oh no, you can't do it. Oh no, what if? Oh no, but blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? Is it this font or is it this font? Is it this hex code or this hex code? Is it like this pink or like that pink? Like millennial pink or like Barbie pink? Because they're like really similar, but like not. Bitch, it's a fucking pink. Put it up there and get it the fuck out of there. You can edit it the fuck later. Hashtag last fucks given. That is July. And then when you literally throw your fucks out of the window, that look, this is the energy you need to embody for July. This is the energy you need to embody for July. This is the energy you need to embody for July. Look at her. Okay. Dog barking confirmation. Ooh, Hecate is kind of here. Thank you for joining. Okay, there's a message from Hecate coming through. Two paths you will have to choose. While they are intertwined, one of them you will lose. Choose wisely and choose with care. You want to be on the path that leaves your soul bare. So what I'm hearing by that is that like, hi Charm, hi! I feel like when she says your soul to bare, it's not like, okay, fine, like I'm here and I'm drained. It's not bare as in drained. It's bare as in get on the path where you are truly exposing who you truly are. That's how I'm deciphering her message, okay? Is that correct? She's nodding. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm getting. It's sort of like, right? Like, again, this is your destiny. This is your fate. This is everything that you've been working for, right? Your wishes can be fulfilled, but you're going to have to work to make sure to keep the other voices at bay and to not slide back down into the patriarchal trap. That's why they're saying use discernment. This is the high priestess over here. You've got to like see what is hidden. Like suss that shit out. Like be a sustinator, okay? I literally want to have a job. Be like, hi, I'm like the sustinator, and they're like, I'm sorry, what's that? And I'm like, I just suss people out, and I will suss out what the fuck is wrong with your motherfucking company or your relationship or like whatever's going on, right? Because again, right behind that was the moon card. So it's like sometimes you're not always seeing things clearly. Right? And it's normal. It's fine. You're human. Cry about it. Like, you know, do what you need to do, right? Like process the emotions. Processing means feeling them. I don't like to feel those negative emotions. That's just me personally. But that's why then they fell me flat on my ass for like 18 months with no connection to the psychic world because I needed to like really get clear on what I was refusing to see. We all go through it. I go through it. Like, I'm not immune, okay? I just don't cry on camera. Oh, no, that's a lie, because I do sometimes do that on the lives, but you get my point, okay? So what's interesting with that, though, is the fact that, you know, with the victory card was on the top, right? So this is inevitable. This is like the timeline that Hecate wants you to choose versus the other timeline that's over there that I'll get to in a second, all right? So we can see the differences, right? So with the Six of Wands here and assuring that you're victorious, you're wanting to also embody the identity of the version of you who already won. Like, what would that bitch do in this situation, right? Because at a certain point in time, she also didn't have what she wanted. She had to get there. So when she was getting there, what was her vibe? What did she do? What did she take? What actions did she take to get to where she is now? Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. How did she get there? Right? She took steps to get there. So it's okay to take the steps to get there. Does that make any sense? Do you still do full spreads? Yes, I do. That's what the $77 live stream readings are. But again, this is like, okay, God, I wish, look, it's so fascinating, the cards that were on this side of the deck. Yes, you have to protect your peace, okay, with the Seven of Wands, again, and then because you got to make sure that mindset is on lock with the King of Swords, right? Again, with all of this Gemini energy, like floating around, it's going to be like, and you can like get really sidetracked. So you're going to want to find a system to be able to like, you know, log all of these brilliant ideas, to be able to make sure that like, no matter what anyone says, oh, you're stupid. Oh, you're mid. Oh, you're like negative aura points or like whatever the fuck it is. You're like, okay, like you're so unbothered because your belief game, your identity game, your mental game is so on lock. Like, even if they're like, it's never going to happen. I know this is going to sound horrible to say, but it's like, then you have to act like Trump. You just have to be like, I'm POTUS. I don't give a fuck. And what? What do you want to do? Like, this is just what I believe. No one can tell me different. I never met that person. But why is there a photo of you? Oh yeah, I think I did meet that person. Whatever. Okay? I know that sounds horrible, but like, right? Now, here's what's interesting about this. Right underneath the Seven of Wands was the Nine of Pentacles. So money can really come in, right? Money can really come in, right? However, you know, you got to let go of the Five of Cups energy of like always feeling lack. But you have, with the Magician, all of the tools. You have everything that you need in order to succeed. So then why are you still selling yourself short? Sorry for the blunt and honest version, but I don't know who that was for. You can comment if this is you. You have all of the tools that you need in order to create the legacy and wish fulfillment that you want. So why are you still complaining? Why are you still in lack mode? Why are you still, you know, just wishing and not embodying this energy, right? Then here's what's fascinating, right? Oh my God, the Queen of Wands. But remember, I saw like that Three of Cups. That Three of Cups. I feel a lot of intimacy. I feel like you're really going to understand what kind of friendships and support systems and allies that you need in order to feel supported. So one of the things that you're really going to be fortifying this month is going to be your support system and how you support yourself and how you support others. Oftentimes, right, we end up like over giving to other people and forget about ourselves, that it's always about supporting ourselves first, because you teach people how to treat you, right? And then like underneath that was the Four of Wands. That's going to be the celebration. And then y'all can hang, go to Coachella, go to music festivals, go on trips, go on adventures. I just heard, I will find my way. I can go the distance. Right, from Hercules. Hercules on Broadway on the West End. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, but like I digress, all right? For some of you, you are being turned into literal gods and goddesses. And I know that sounds so crazy, but it's like, if you've been really doing the work, you can really create a lot of magic. And there's going to be a lot to celebrate, all right? Oh my God. Ah! Okay, sorry. So I'm just going to show you so that I'm not, So this was these two cards. Nine of Swords with the Two of Cups. Your anxieties and worries and freakouts are going to be over about your divine partner, because they are coming in. Oh my God, if that's you, please email me and tell me when it happens. Do have discernment. Don't go for anything lower than what you are bringing to the table. Do I have to shout that again? Okay. You have to make sure that you are, doing right by yourself, okay? Don't just settle for the first person that hits on you, okay? But, holy shit. Okay, so that's path one. I'm choosing path one. Anyone else want to choose path one? I'm choosing path one. Hold on. All right, and here's path two, and this is why Hecate was like, yeah, you're gonna need to... All right, so path two, all right, Five of Pentacles, all right. There's been a big core wound when it comes to material needs. So, been struggling to make enough money, struggling to make ends meet, struggling to look the way you want to look, feel the way you want to feel. Your home is probably in disarray, finding a hard time finding your ideal home. You're just like, I know that everything I want is on the other side of this fucking door, but where is the goddamn motherfucking key? Just, by the way, it's like been here the whole time. Love you, mean it, okay? But you're like, there's just still some trauma that needs to be healed, okay? There's just still some trauma that needs to be healed, all right? It's kind of needing to go back to giving and receiving. Remembering what it was like when you were a child. Remembering to nurture your inner child. I'm hearing a lot of inner child work. You've been neglecting that part of yourself. And in July, like, you need to nurture her. Insert your own pronouns. Okay? And then that's when things will start to move. But again, you're going to have to choose... excuse me, which way to go, right? Again, Chariot, yes, you're moving fast, but it's also having to choose which way. Again, deciding which path. Now, you could start here and then jump to this path, but you're going to have to make a choice, all right? And it's going to take some time to brew, because with the Seven of Pentacles, it's about nurturing and watering those seeds, right? Now, here's what's interesting. On the top of the deck, which was really good, was the Ace of Cups. if you do this inner work and shadow work during Cancer season and purge this out and really get clear on healing your heart, then that big love is going to come through. Now, it's not necessarily going to be Two of Cups fated mate love, but it could be a big love, a soulmate love, or reigniting the love in the relationship that you have. But I'm hearing also like finding love for life again, even in these chaotic times, even while the world is burning, even while like, you know what I mean, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. There's going to be something where you're like, but there is so much to love about life. And I actually do have a lot more control of it than I thought. And I really do have a lot more that I should have been grateful for. And I didn't realize it until now, right? Now, the reason why I was like, oof, was because Seven of Swords energy with like the Queen of Swords. So this is kind of good because this is kind of like, okay, you're going to need to be a bit stealthier, right? Again, a lot of it is these mental blocks, these like mental issues, these identity issues, these limiting beliefs. And like, again, I think that this is leaning more towards the person, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm great. I'm on luck. I know everything. La, 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 la. But like, this is literally what you're feeling inside. So this and this does not match. Does that make sense? Look, they literally are like repelling each other. One's looking this way. The other one's looking that way. And it's just like, I don't see all my blessings. And getting into situationships that you shouldn't be. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Now, this is great because the Lover's card is here. But again, this feels a lot like a lot of heart chakra work. This feels like what is going to fire you up? What is your passion? What is going to get you excited? What does your heart really fucking want? Okay? Heart really fucking want. Okay? I mean, yeah, romance. You don't want to work as hard. Everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's not fine. 10 of Swords. But boy, you always go back to the vices that got you into the place that you're still stuck in. Like, you're still sabotaging yourself. Like, the devil... Here's what's really interesting about the Devil card, okay? I actually like the Devil card, but I feel like in another deck, it's like displayed a lot better. But like, yeah, but even with this one, he's just like, hey, I'm here. Just trade your soul. I'll give you all the money you want. Okay. But you have to say yes. You consent, right? And if you give in to this fear of, oh my God, but I'm never going to make money again. I'm never going to find the love of my life again. I'm so desperate. I don't know what I'm going to do. And you don't want to invest in yourself. You don't want to like actually do the things, then you're not going to get it. That's just how this works. It's funny because, again, with the Six of Swords, you need to exfoliate. You need to get a Shift Your Belief session for me. If you are resonating with this path, even though you don't want to be on this path, please go and get a Shift Your Belief session with me. Because we can go in, find out where all this shit comes from, pull out that limiting belief, get rid of the stuff that kept it there, and then replant a positive new belief so that you can be, here. All right. This is about you starting a new journey. This is about you figuring out a new way to make money. This is about you truly trying to dream up a new life. A dream is a wish your heart makes. You know what I mean? You want to be this King of Pentacles. Hey! But you're kind of like this. I can't spend a dime because I may not ever get money again. You're nursing a lot of heartache. It's a lot of this stuff. Oh, yep. Okay. But you're wanting this to be the star that you are, right? You're a star. You have star quality. People are naturally attracted to you. People will always compliment you on something, especially about your looks. And you're just like, oh no, oh my God, no. And you always like, you don't say thank you. Oh my God, that's so sweet. You don't. But yet you want to be in the sun. But again, 8 of Swords, right? You're kind of balancing a lot right now. That's why it's really difficult. But again, here's what's really cool about this path, okay? Because again, paths are paths. When you are able to entertain, Page of Swords, entertain, okay? Play around with different belief systems and different identities, you're going to be able to come to a place where you can truly finally understand what your emotions are telling you. That is going to help you start to feel emotionally fulfilled with the 10 of Cups and help you understand that you are so close to actually getting to where you want to go, right? So this is going to be a time for you with the King of Wands to really become your own entrepreneur, to be your own boss, to be that CEO boss babe, okay? Again, insert your own pronouns, all right? And then you're going to be able to play around with actions that are going to help you see things from a new perspective with the Hanged Man so that the Wheel of Fortune can turn in your favor. So the other path isn't like it's bad. It's just rough. And it's just a lot of healing. That's why I said, like, some people are going to love July and some people are going to be like, no, I'm good, thanks, you know? So that's the July reading for the collective. Questions, comments, concerns. Do you want your own not private, but one-on-one reading? Any questions in general? Yeah. If your boyfriend is not doing it, like, I keep on saying, I don't know why it really stuck with me, but I think for those of you who are still really in the earth realm and stuff, it's like you have to understand that your standards have to match your worth. That's the thing. There is no such... Oh, thank you, Hi Charm! Oh my God, thank you. The path is going to be healing, but much needed. Yeah. So it's just kind of like you have to understand that. And again, I will repeat this. And for those of you who have been here and have, heard this before, right? This is from Becca Bloom, and then I'm just saying it in my own way. But it's like, all right, your standards, there's no such thing as high standards, all right? But your standards you're basically have to match your worth, okay? Because if you are like, my standards are that the guy always has to pay for everything and I don't have to do anything and he has to do this and this and this and this. And like, I don't want to do anything in the relationship. That is having a very high standard without bringing a lot to the table. Okay? Then we have the opposite effect where it's like a lot of people, a lot of like empaths and like, you know what I mean, heart-centered fellow people. It's like overgiving. You are kind. You work on yourself. You are understanding. You're gracious. You're empathetic. You're giving, unconditionally loving. You are nurturing. You bring so many wonderful things to the table. So you're like up here. You manage your own money. You make your own money. Like you're just up here. And then you settle for fucking, you know, the dusty crusties, as Shara Seven would say. Like the guy who's like, oh yeah, so like, let's just go out on a hike or get a smoothie or like whatever. And you're like, what the fuck? If you want to date me, if you want to like spend time with me, if you want to pursue me on a romantic level, you need to act accordingly. Because you wouldn't do that on a first date if you were liking someone. So why would you settle for that? It's also, the Chads, no thanks. It's also unbalanced. So if you bring that to the table, then that should be your bare minimum because it's not a standard it's not a high standard. It is just your standard because you treat yourself that way. So if you can treat yourself that way, they have to, at the bare minimum, treat you the way that you would be treating yourself. Otherwise, they're just draining you. They should treat you better, right? But there's that. Also, and the guys can confirm, the guys in the chat, please confirm, but I heard this and it made a lot of sense. Men are wired to think in a pecking order, right? Look at chickens, okay? Wolves, pack of dogs, pecking order, okay? Alpha and then da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? So men, when it comes to dating, if they think that they are better than you, you will always be a secondary priority. They will not treat you, like they'll treat you nice, but they'll always treat themselves better because they're higher up on the pecking order than you. So you need to cook me dinner. You need to do my laundry. You need to pack my lunch. You need to work out more. You need to get liposuction. You need to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Controlling, right? But then if the guy views you as better than him, right? So that you're higher on his pecking order, right? He will worship the ground you walk on and go above and beyond to make sure that you're happy. Because again, you're the alpha. Or in the other sense, right? You're the black cat and he's the golden retriever. Right? I'm trying to get rid of a trauma bond from a narcissist. I got this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know it's so rough. It's so traumatic. Like, please, like, whatever therapy you need, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, honestly, I don't know. This is the unfortunate truth, okay? The unfortunate truth is this. You can leave at any time you want. There's nothing holding you back. There's nothing holding you back. You can literally pack your bags right now and get to a safe location and swipe left, block, delete. That's it. Okay? So you can book a session in my, at the top of my page, babe. So the harsh truth is this, right? And again, I get it. I've been there before. It is a fucking gnarly mess once you break out to like unfuck the wiring that they put in you, okay? I'm not saying it's easy, okay? But it is just a question of when you hit your rock bottom. Again, if you're okay with being in that kind of suffering and you get... because this is the mechanics behind it. If you are still getting something that you want out of this toxic relationship, you will never leave. That's the issue, right? That's why they breadcrumb. That's why they gaslight you, because it keeps you there. So you're like, I need outside validation. I need outside validation. I need outside validation. And so they give you a little bit, and so you stay until you realize that, like, you don't deserve to be treated that way, and that is not real love, and that's not really what you ultimately want. Finally, when you get to a breaking point, as in when you finally reach your lower limit of suffering, then you will leave. And then at that point, even if it's hard, you're like, no, right? We all have upper and lower limits. If you want to read a great book about it, it's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, okay? I love that book. I kind of wanted to write a workbook to go with it because I was like, where's the workbook? Like, why is there not one with it? I do have like a free opt-in on my website for it. Gosh, that was like from forever ago. But like upper and lower limits, okay? So essentially, we all have upper and lower limits of what we are willing to tolerate, right? Which is within our comfort zone. So I'm going to use money real quick, okay? So with money, it's like some people's upper limits are like, oh my God, I could never imagine making more than $5,000 a month. Like, that's just out reality for me. Like, I like, if I can just kind of get by, that's okay. That's their upper limit, right? So anytime an opportunity comes where they can make $10,000, they will reject it some way, how, because they don't believe that they can have that, right? The opposite is true, right? So like, and even when it's like, all right, I want $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, and people are like, oh my God, what are you going to do with all of that money? Like, I have had so many friends, husbands, and even friends of mine being like, how much money would you, like, what's your fuck you number, right? Like, if they finally gave you that number and you would quit your job and you would be fine forever. And I'm like, unlimited, billions, trillions, like I want it all. And they're like, Alicia, what on God's green earth could you possibly do with that money? I'm like, so much. Do you understand? Like, I am not the girl who would just be like, okay, we're going to go to Pilates and then we're going to go get our green juices that were like, squeezed by Noah at Whole Foods. Like, I'm not that girl, right? I'm like, you could make market change in the world. You could start getting affordable healthcare for everyone. You could improve the education system for our children and the upcoming generations. You could provide healthcare. I mean, and like for like the elderly, and really being able to build places where they can, like, as like your life starts to decline, you can start having these environments where they're not just dumped in some old like nursing home where no one gives a fuck about them. You could have daycare for children that actually helps like model their minds, while the parents are working, so that they really are able to like develop their skills and become an even better model of society. Like, are you fucking dumb? And then not to mention all the books I want to write, all the movies I want to create, all the TV shows I want to do, all the magazines I want to publish, all the, photo shoots, art, like music, like, I mean, I'm sorry, like merchandise, better makeup and better clothes and skincare and hair care and like, improving the way that we are able to regenerate ourselves so we don't like become like old, shriveled up, like broken prunes before we die. Like, we can extend our life. Look at how science has improved that. Like, there are so many things I could do with the abundance of the money that I could have. Like, I am telling you, I have the vision. I have the vision. So for me, I have no upper limit with money. Like, give me $10,000. Give me $100,000. Give me $10 million. Give me $100 million. Like, I will use this to better this world for all of us. I will also remodel my house and make it a luxury spiritual sanctuary. And I will also redo my deck and turn it into like a closed sunroom. Like, I literally just redid my deck. Like, I kind of like upped it a little bit yesterday. Like, I spent a whole bunch of yesterday just like improving my surroundings in my house, and like just saying like, no, like, this shit is happening. Like, I already know how I want to redo the kitchen. I already know how I want to redo the basement. I already know. I would be buying the next house over, where my poor like next door neighbor, who was like my mom's best friend and all that, they were like best friends. Anyway, she passed and her children are wretched. I would buy that property and I would Harry Potter that shit and do the secret doors and like inner hallways and like make that a clubhouse. Like, people could come in, get spiritual healings, do barbecues, jacuzzi, like having it be this magical space. It's like a numerology, like 5 house, adventure, freedom, fun. Like, I have the vision. There is so much I could do. Make a community garden so we could like grow our own food. Okay? So it's like the lower limit. Now let's talk about the lower limit, because that's where Gina's comes into play. And then we also all have lower limits. So some people's lower limits are, oh shit, if my bank account gets below this number, like if my savings or like my checking account gets below like 25 grand, nope, gotta work. Like, I feel like I'm fucking, like, I can't retire on 25 grand, like, blah, 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 right? And they will do what they need to do to get their account into like that safe zone again, right? It's like below the red, right? Other people, it's, oh, as long as I pay my rent on time, I'm fine. That's my lower limit, right? Because the moment that they can't pay their rent on time, they start freaking out. They'll get into overproduction. They will find every which way to make money to make sure that they get it on time. Other people's lower limits are, oh, I always make rent, but it's always 7 days late. So they always have to pay a fee. And they can't get out of it. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll just pay the fee. And then there are other people's lower limits where they're just like, I always have to be at the point of eviction before I actually do something to get enough money to stay in the circumstances that I'm at. Right? We all have upper and lower limits. Oh my God, as you spoke, a big yellow butterfly flew around my yard and sitting. Yay! That's such a good sign. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can apply that to relationships too, right? Like if you are willing to settle for breadcrumbing and 50-50 and I don't know, whatever the fuck guys are like on right now in the Joe Rogan world, I just don't subscribe to that energy in my life, period, end of story. But it's like, you know, you'll settle, right? For me, like, and especially when you're in a situation though, you have your lower limit, or you have your limit. So like, let's go back to what I had talked about the other live, even though it's a bit like, sensitive, triggering, warning. So warning, if you have issues with SA, please like swipe up and come back in a second or pause and fast forward. Okay. So let me just give you an example, right? So my sophomore boyfriend, like my first real, true, committed relationship. Oh my God, hold on one second. My mom just came back. Hold on. And then remind me, because this is important. Don't go anywhere. Also, if you want to read and get one at the top of my page. Pause. Okay, sorry. I just had to help her with some things, and I also needed to stand up because so that's what's happening right now. We're raising the bar. And I also got some chips and guac because I need to eat. So hopefully this is fine. You are so knowledgeable. Thank you. I recorded the butterfly on my iPhone, sending it to this phone on my social media phone so I can post it. Yes. Okay. So trigger warnings, but you know, there's a point to this. All right. So my first real boyfriend was in sophomore year of college, and we dated like basically all year. I met his parents. He met my parents. Like, we all got along. It was such a harmonious match. We were just like very, very, very compatible. Okay. And he was also hot. So really good guy. So he went to, during spring break, he decided he wanted to, like, you know, join the Marines. So we went to boot camp. But he tore his knee, ligament in his knee, and so they kicked him out, right? And so, which is normal. But something happened where it clicked something in his brain, and when he came back, he was a different person. So, for then, you know, the last month of our relationship, he was essaying me almost every single night. So, for me, very traumatic, very, 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 like, isolating, shame, like a whole bunch of, like, other kinds of things. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, you know, like, it was a very, very difficult situation to be in. And so, but lower limit, this is my point. Lower limit, right? After about a month of it, I was done. Okay? Like, there's only so much that a girl can take for a guy that she loves. And I was like, all I know is this. All I know is this. Whatever this is happening, it's not happening anymore. And like, I do not want to be with someone who treats me like that. Who disregards my safety, who disregards my physical well-being, who disregards like my very vocal and physical attempts to eradicate that behavior. Not to get into it, and I, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to say this in like a nice way, but like, so we have our lower limits. So I could have stayed. I could have worked it out. I could have like gone to therapy. I could have forced him to go to like, you know, the counselor or the psychiatrist at school. I could have reported him. I could have like tried to work it out, maybe even in some shape, way, or form, or just pretend like it was fine and he would outgrow it. But at a certain point, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. You cannot force me to give my body to you. There's a happy ending to the story, as in like, I was able to confront him and I made him feel the pain and the shame emotionally. And it was good. But that's my point with lower limits. We all have a lower limit, you know? I would share another one, like my lower limit with my toxic ex that was truly a narcissist, but I'm not going to say it on a live because I think I want to post this one on YouTube. So there's that. Bye, Andrew. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. Because at the end of the day, we all have what it takes in order to do whatever we want to do. That's facts. So, what do you need to do in order to get to where you need to go? What do you want? Oh my God, Andrew, I forgot. Before you leave, I have like the best thing. Okay, so I realized I had this huge aha download yesterday. And basically, so one of the things that I have been able to finally do is to do spiritual surgery on someone. So I don't know how to explain this because it's not Reiki. It's not energy healing. It's not sound healing. Like, it's not that. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But what I am able to do is, like, in a session, like, and obviously with your permission, I can go in and, like, whatever it is that you're wanting to, like, heal, figure out, blah, 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 I can literally go into your soul outside of this dimension and, like, get rid of stuff, click stuff into place, see what's actually preventing it. It's almost like if you were like a Jenga, like if you're like a Jenga block tower, you know, and like some pieces are out, some people need to be put in place, some need to be taken out, you know what I mean? And like get turned, like whatever, so that you are, no, it's not cord cutting. It's not it. It's not it. Because cords can still get attached. Cords can reattach. It's more so like being able to take out like a spiritual tumor. Spiritual cancer, something like that. It could alter your DNA. It could alter your DNA. Because then you're not commanding each cell to operate with the limiting belief that you are not enough. I don't have scientific proof, so I cannot claim that. But no, it's not shamanism. I don't do shamanic journeys. I don't do like drum beat. No, I literally go in. I tell you exactly what's happening too, the whole entire time. You know what I mean? Kind of understand it, quantum field stuff. Well, no. So here's what my genius idea is. That's literally what they do. Good for you if that's what you think that they do. Good on you. If that's what you think shamanism is, awesome. So, what I thought of, and this was the brilliant idea, because I have not seen anyone who can do what I do. Okay? Is that I was thinking about creating my podcast, which I've been talking about for forever, except for my podcast is going to be, instead of bringing on like guests who are astrologers and other spiritual gurus and like I want to get clients on and do a live spiritual surgery session with each client. And so each client is a different episode. And then that way you can see in real time, unedited, what it would be like, what the transformation is, and what you actually need to do in order to be set free. Is that not the most genius thing ever? Then you can hear episode after episode after episode. You, like, it might be like, you know, healing the trauma from a toxic narcissist. Whatever, like seven-figure content creator finally finding her purpose. Like, oh, like hidden trauma from like star seeds of Orion. I don't know, whatever the series like thing is, right? And then that way you can just go to the podcast and like, of course, like I'll have it on YouTube too, because I do like to have video and stuff. But because I talk you through it and it's not just silence while I'm like, I don't do that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing, and if you're interested in it to apply, it is, you need to get on my email list for free. You can get that at the top of my page. And I'm going to be putting up an application form because you're going to have to apply. It is still going to cost money because it is a lot of work for me to do. But instead of the normal targeted, like, because I have it at the top of my page if you want to actually look at what it actually is. I have 2 of them. But like the targeted spiritual surgery, like that's what it is one-on-one. But if you apply and you get it, you'll only have to pay a 10th of that. And then you get to come on and obviously with your consent, allowing me to publish it on, we're all podcast stream and on YouTube. So I cannot wait because I think that more people need to understand that at the end of the day, this whole manifesting and becoming free and like, escaping the matrix and manifesting what you want is so much more simple than you're making it out to be. And trust me, I was on the same bandwagon for a really long time, but it's like you can get addicted to needing to be healed, like being the wounded martyr, right? I have to heal this. I have to heal this in order to get what I want. I can't get what I want until I'm healed. I can't get what I want until I'm healed. I can't get what I want until I'm healed. Like, you know what I mean? Bye, Andrew. So you see what I'm saying? And so I think that it's funny because a lot of people don't really understand that, like, you are limiting yourself, right? There are some certain extra circumstances or extenuating circumstances where you may have astral traveled and something clung onto you. And when you came back, you didn't realize it. And now it's infiltrated your system. And now you have like their eggs in you and you need to get that shit removed. That's happened before. Tell you that. You may... have another spirit living inside of you this whole entire time and you didn't realize it until recently, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I don't want this other entity in me, and so you have to exercise it nicely, right? You have to figure it out. There are extenuating circumstances. But that's why spiritual surgery happens, because you got to go in there, right? You got to dissect. You got to like pull it open and be like, like let's say it was cancer, right? And you're like, okay, there's a little mass here, here, and here. You do the x-ray, be like, okay, but then when you get in there, there could be a lot more. There could be a lot less. It could be like here. Those might be malignant. These might be non-malignant, whatever the name is. Do you get my point? Anyway, questions, comments, concerns? I'm so excited. So that's what July is about. July is about really embodying the version of you who already has it all, or that you really feel like you want to be her now, insert your own pronouns. And then you start building that legacy. Again, remember, Hecate came through. She was like, you have 2 paths. Choose wisely. You know? And standing at the crossroads, which way are you going to go? Right? Does that make sense? So, questions? Anybody else want a reading? I'll give it 2 more tips. If no one has a question or no one wants to read, I will go. But I love you. I really think this is going to be a really good month. Nothing? Nada? Nobody? You're sure? Okay. I'm going to count it down. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that reading helped. If you are interested in your own spiritual surgery session or wanting to apply to get a session and be a guest on my podcast, then sign up for my free newsletter. And just remember, expect the unexpected this July. Some really, really good things are coming in for some people. You can make things happen. Okay? I love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you all soon.